Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Friday evening, November 25th, 2022. Before we jump into it, please ensure you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Alright, so let's just take a look at the significant features across the Atlantic this evening. We see that we still have this stalled out cold front right there off the southeastern United States, and we still have that cold front stretching from the northeastern Atlantic all the way down into portions of, let's say, north of Puerto Rico or the northeastern Caribbean right there. So they're not being affected any at all. Elsewhere, nothing really going on, no troughs to talk about, no tropical waves. Not the season for that. It's starting to wrap up on that kind of weather. We're jumping into a dry season now. Alright, so let's talk briefly about the predictions that were made yesterday for today's weather. According to our page here with the Jamaica, it was stated that we would have received some rainfall across portions of northern Jamaica on early Friday morning, and rainfall across sections of central and western Jamaica on Friday afternoon. What did we see happening? During the morning, we actually had some rainfall. Post was made at 4:50, and we saw those rain bands, green and yellow, that represent moderate to strong rainfall across portions of northern Jamaica. And we even had some persons who confirmed the rainfall on our other platforms. And during the afternoon, we saw that we had some afternoon thunder showers, the same places that were predicted, inland areas of central and western Jamaica. And you saw what happened with the clouds? When the clouds developed and went up high, the wind shear pushed them off towards the south, just as predicted, and even some of that thunderstorm activity spilled into portions of northern St. Elizabeth right there. That was 4:25 p.m. though. What exactly is going on at this time? So let's see what happened via the images before the sunlight went away. So we saw that we had some clouds, lots of buildup of high level clouds, thunderstorm clouds affecting portions of central and western Jamaica. What about the latest infrared images? Let's see what's going on, shall we? Alright, so we can see that we still have some overcast skies across portions of southwestern Jamaica. The clouds have moved on. The thunderstorms are right there of the southwestern coast of St. Elizabeth, south of Westmoreland right there. We still have some lingering showers across western Jamaica, maybe western St. Elizabeth right there. That's according to the Doppler radar images. See the difference between the Doppler radar images? Doppler radar images show the rainfall. The satellite images show the cloud cover. And there are times when we have some cloud cover and we're not necessarily receiving a rainfall. But the Doppler radar images actually show us what's going on, which is why I can't wait for the Met Services Doppler radar to be, up and running. They say that it has been temporarily out of service since March. Hopefully it gets fixed shortly or replaced. Who knows? Alright, so when we look at the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology website, we actually see where the rainfall actually fell in millimeters. So just as predicted, northern portions of Jamaica spilling into sections of central and western Jamaica during the afternoon. Let's talk about prediction for tomorrow, shall we? So we see that we're going to be having an easterly flow across the island. Maybe the air might pile up across portions of inland areas of central and western Jamaica as well. That's according to the Euro. The GFS is showing something similar as well. And the wind shear seems to be coming from the same place that it came today, north or maybe more northwesterly on the Euro. The GFS more northerly, and this is 18Z on Saturday. That's 1 p.m. on Saturday. So we shall see what happens. Just like today, we'll see if any thunderstorms develop during the afternoon, and then push off those high level cloud tops towards the south, bringing overcast skies or maybe some rainfall to portions of those areas. All right, so what do we see on the forecast in terms of rainfall from the Euro? We see that we're going to be having some rainfall at 4 p.m. where eastern, central and western Jamaica. Okay, that's on the Euro. What does the GFS show? Something a bit similar, more scattered across the island. But I find it hard to believe that we're going to be having a lot of rainfall on the north coast, considering the wind direction from the east and the wind shear from the northwest or the northwest. So we shall see what actually unfolds with that. This is 4 p.m. on the Euro and the GFS, by the way. 5 p.m. something very similar, eastern, central and western Jamaica on both models. Nothing was really shown before that time, So it looks like it's around that time in the late afternoon when we're going to see some rainfall. And if we actually look at the accumulated precipitation for the next 24 hours, this is all the way up to 3Z on Sunday. That's 10 p.m. on Saturday when we actually calculate it. This is where all the accumulated precipitation is forecast by the Euro, with a bias towards more of the southeastern areas of the island, incorporating Kingston, St. Thomas. It might look like a lot of rain, but it's actually not. This is only 0.27 inches of rainfall. Okay, and we also see a little bit over there across portions of St. James. We shall see what exactly happened. More than likely, we're going to have most of it in the inland areas, with the clouds pushing off to the north if they actually develop like that. The GFS is showing something a bit different. There's a slight disagreement right there. We still have rainfall across portions of the island, but GFS is more robust, bringing most of the rainfall across portions of western Jamaica, getting even up into the oranges, the 0.5 ranges. Okay, we also have some showers off there, the eastern portions of the island, so maybe St. Thomas and Portland will be getting in on some of that rainfall. We see some yellows right there of the southeastern coast of, or the southern coast of, St. Catherine. But considering that there was disagreement, a bit of disagreement, it's kind of hard to believe that it's actually going to happen like that. We shall see what unfolds. We know these Portmore folks really want the rainfall, but they're not getting. Let's see what actually happened. We see yellow, we see dark greens in St. Catherine on the GFS, we see dark greens in St. Catherine on the Euro. We shall see what actually unfolds. So it makes sense that our workers here with the Jamaica made a post saying that both models are in agreement that sections of eastern, central, and western Jamaica will be receiving rainfall on the afternoon of Saturday. Basically, the same images that were just shown are shown here as well. Alright, let us talk about the average rainfall across Jamaica, shall we? And we're also seeing the amount of rainy days as well. So we see that right now we're at the end of November. We're wrapping up, so we're moving on into our dry season. So December we can still get some amount of rainfall, but it is way less than what we had the 3 months before. And look at January, February, and March, the dry season. So please ensure that you all, try to conserve as much water as you can from now on, because National Water Commission can get. We don't have much reservoirs to collect all of this water. Even although it's land of food and water, we still have that water issue. So try to conserve as much as you can. Alright, so let us move on. We're finished with the forecast for Jamaica. We're going to be looking now at this image. It is showing where we normally have tropical cyclone formation during the next 10 days from November 21st to the 30th. And we see that most of these red dots are scattered across portions of the Atlantic. So anywhere from the southwestern Caribbean, the western Caribbean, anywhere at all. Even though we have a lot of wind shear, it is still far less than what we would normally have earlier in the season, especially in the peak months of the year. Okay, and this map is likely showing all of the storm formation spots since records began to be collected data ever since the 1850s. Okay. Alright, so moving on, when we look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's page, we see that there's still nothing to report, nothing imminent during the next 5 days. Let's hope it stays that way to wrap up the last 5 days of November. Alright, let's take us back and look at the satellite images, shall we? So just as mentioned, the significant features, we still have that cold front of the southeastern U.S. We still have that cold front stretching from the northeastern portions of the Atlantic all the way down into the middle of the North Atlantic right there, north of the eastern Caribbean islands. Nobody is being affected. We can also see that blow-up of convection across Jamaica right there. And if we actually take a look, we have a lot of clouds stretching from Africa all the way down into the ITCZ, the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Lots of clouds, and we could get in on some more rainfall across portions of the southeastern, the far southeastern Caribbean, so maybe Trinidad and Tobago and so on. Let us look quickly at the Doppler radar images. We still have a few scattered showers over here off the coast of Belize. Nothing as robust as what we were having a week before. Let's hope it doesn't get any worse. Let's hope it actually starts to dry out, but not too bad to bring drought. So the northeastern Caribbean is starting to dry out. They were receiving a lot of rain, but that's over by now. If we look at the next 24 hours for rainfall, this map is showing where it's going to be raining up until 10 p.m. on Saturday. And if we can look closely, we see where we're going to be getting up into the 1 to 1.5 inch range of rainfall. Tobago, Trinidad, where else? We see some affecting portions of Venezuela. Maybe the ABC Islands getting in on some of the rainfall. Portions of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, Jamaica, just as mentioned on the close-up, and portions of Honduras and Nicaragua. It's their season to get all the rainfall. Costa Rica and Panama getting in on some of the rainfall as well. What does the GFS show? When they are in agreement like this, showing the rainfall across these same areas that were just mentioned, there's a high certainty that that is what is forecast to happen. So those areas might still receive some rainfall that could trigger some amount of flash flooding. Alright, so let's just look at the next 5 days that the models are predicting. So we know that we're only going to be going the next 5 days out, because anything beyond that is subject to change, and we know it can get crazy at the end of each run, showing storms and whatnot. So the Euro is not showing much of anything. We're wrapping up the Atlantic hurricane season. We're entering our dry season. Same thing on the GFS model. Not much of anything for the next 120 hours, the next 5 days. We see that rainfall pushing in from the east to the west to affect portions of Central America. Let's hope nothing comes of it. Alright, and when we look at the actual 120-hour accumulated precipitation forecast, we see where we are going to be getting into the purples, up into maybe the 5 or 4 inch range of rainfall in the same spots that were mentioned: Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, Colombia, even getting in on some of the flash flooding as well. So please take necessary precautions, listen to your local officials so that you are not affected that badly. Same thing on the GFS. And we know that when there is agreement like this, it is bad news. Alright, thanks to you all for watching. Please ensure that you like, comment and subscribe. You enjoy your weekend. Take care. Goodbye now.